Sometimes I ask myself, what do these politicians do with money? Because the way they squander money, in billions, in trillions, and they do it without qualms. Today you hear that this person steals 80 trillion, 80 billion. It doesn't sound weird to them that 63% of Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Some of them can't even find what to eat. Some of them work from hand to mouth, but they squander money. And what do they do with money? Sometimes, okay, my father used to say, okay, you have the whole money in the whole world assigned to you. What else will you do apart from building houses, buying cars, buying the most expensive clothes, going to the most expensive hotel, buying private jet? Most of them have done these things. So what are they still stealing money for? Still fighting for power, still killing themselves over power. Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. And today we look at budget padding in Nigeria's National Assembly, the implications, and the pathway to transparency. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. So, speaking of budget padding in Nigeria's National Assembly and the implications and the pathway to transparency, first of all, we'll give a brief summary of the issues and then we'll go forward. Nigeria's National Assembly has long faced allegations of budget padding, a practice where legislators surreptitiously inflate budgetary allocations for personal or political gains. This is what it means. A notable recent case involves Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who in March of 2024 was accused of inserting 3.7 trillion naira into the 2024 budget without legislative oversight, as reported by the PRNigeria. This scandal highlights systemic corruption and the weak accountability mechanisms in Nigeria's fiscal governance. So it's shameful enough. It's shameful to say but the least. How budget paddings stifles development. How does it stifle development? Of course it stifles development. One is a misallocation of public funds. Now, there are many areas in Nigeria that are crying for help. In our school systems, we have dilapidated university system. When you visit some of our Nigerian universities, you cry. You ask yourself, is this where our young men and women, the future of Nigeria, are learning? If you visit government secondary schools, technical schools, there's nothing to write home about. Visit general hospitals. In fact, I ask myself, does it mean that our politicians don't travel to these foreign countries? Because when you see our hospitals looking like poultry farms, like poultry, piggery, and these people seem not to care. Why would they care when they fly abroad? Until Nigeria makes it a must that the conditions of being a politician is that every treatment, every education of your children must be in Nigeria, everything will get well. Until then, nothing will get well. So critical sectors like the healthcare, education, and infrastructure are routinely underfunded, while padded projects, often frivolous or inflated contracts, drain resources. For example, that of 2024, a year today, a year from this month, a year, reportedly allocated 6.6 billion for empowerment projects in Akpabio's constituency, despite pressing national needs. What are the results? The result is poor service delivery, stalled projects, and deepening inequality. When you inflate prices of everything, what will be done in 1 million, they write 10 billion. And upon that, they will still not deliver the project. And they will delay the project till the next budget to insert the same thing they have eaten the money for in the same budget. Next is erosion of trust, public trust. Repeated scandals deter citizens' engagement and foster cynicism towards government or governance. A 2023 poll by NOI polls found that 72% of Nigerians distrust the National Assembly's budget processes. Economic distortions, inflated contracts fuel corruption, divert funds into private pockets, and distort market prices. Example, overpriced construction materials. Donor reluctance. International partners such as the World Bank, the IMF, may hesitate to fund projects amid concerns of obvious mismanagements and the looting. So what solution do we have for this? Do we have any solution? Yes. For accountability and transparency, first is to open budget system. We've been saying this for years now. People should be able, just like we are saying for the electoral reforms, so that people can see the electoral results there and then. It is not after. Everybody can be seeing it live and direct. So that if there is inflation, everybody can be looking at it, and if we allow it, they will know that Nigerians cynically allowed it. So, real-time public access to budget drafts, revisions, and implementation reports. The 2024 budget documents should be digitalized and published on a centralized platform where everybody can see it. Another thing is independent oversight. Strengthen agencies like the Office of the Auditor General of Nigeria and establish a public procurement commission to audit projects and penalize violators. Unfortunately, Nigeria is such a dramatic country that when some of these heinous offenses are captured, they are just swept under the carpet. Did you hear about it again? No. This is 1 year, March 2024. This is March 2025. It's swept under the carpet. Nobody talked about it. They laughed over it. The same people who sent prayers, money has become prayer. They sent prayers. The same people who, the way this, they don't even rate Nigerians. It's obvious. They don't rate Nigerians. And unfortunately, because the kind of Nigerians we have is Nigerians are so very docile, anything can go. Provided he wakes up in his, in fact, if it doesn't affect a Nigerian directly, it doesn't, nothing bothers him. Until it affects him directly, nothing will happen. He will manage. He will manage. The average Nigerian will manage. Through it all, he will manage. Even if he's dying, he will manage. Even if he was, the problem he has was, because in fact, Nigerians love their oppressors. With the recent events happening in Nigeria, you can see how Nigerians enjoy their oppressors. They can die for the oppressors. They can do and undo for the oppressors. Is it not Nigerians again? That they were, some people will give money, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. They will carry placard to do counter protests on a serious matter that they should be advocating for. They come out on the street to do counter protests. Is it not Nigerians again? Everybody is, just the same in action and in reality. Can be maybe different degrees of individual, maybe different nationality, different language, different religion, the same kind of action. Legislative reforms. Amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act to criminalize budget padding with strict penalties, including bans from public office. In fact, The way I see it is sometimes I feel like crying. How can somebody who is caught in looting of public funds still be allowed to handle public offices? And some of them are ministers, some of them are senators, some of them are in the government, in the different parastatals, some of them are everywhere, even in the presidency. People who have been accused of heinous crimes in the past are there. And how do you expect Nigeria to work when such caliber of people handle Nigeria? Nigeria is gone for. Should stop wasting our time. Should stop wasting our time. Next one is civic engagement. Empower civil society organizations, the CSOs, and media to monitor budgets. Platforms like the Budget Nigeria, Budge IT Nigeria has successfully exposed discrepancies in this past, uh, kudos to them, and kudos to people in their rights television and some other television stations that are truthful to themselves, not those puppets who sit on the television stations to talk rubbish when they to bend the truth. I call them brown envelope journalists, because Nigeria has, if we have 60 journalists, only one is a journalist, or 2, 3, even 4. The rest are brown envelopes. They just pay them, call them. Maybe one organization from the United States or from UK pays them, and they begin to talk rubbish. They forget their mission. They lose their voices. The strength of the journalist is in his voice or her voice. But Nigeria has clearly shown that we have very few journalists who can stand for the truth, no matter what it takes. And unfortunately, those ones who can stand for the truth are the enemies of the country, because they speak the truth. In fact, if you speak the truth in Nigeria, you become the enemy. Myself now, I've become the enemy. I've already gotten DMs. Stop saying those things. Stop saying those things. Even with this young, growing channel that I've not gotten how many followers, they're already sending me messages. Stop saying those things. I will say them. I will say them because posterity will look at me and say, you had the voice, but you never said. So I will say them just to clear my conscience and for that of my next generation. Technology-driven tracking. Use blockchain or AI tools to track fund disbursement and protect project execution. For instance, Ghana's e-procurement system reduced graft by 40%. What are the roles of the media and the evidence? The PRNigeria's 2024 report highlighted Akpabio's allegedly insertion of non-priority projects, including a 500 million consultancy fee for a phantom road project. In 2024 budget analysis, it shows inflated line items such as 5 billion for Senate building renovation amid nationwide power shortage, poverty, hunger, and renovation of Senate House. Doesn't it baffle you? Nigeria, anything can go. In conclusion, budget padding perpetuates underdevelopment and corruption in Nigeria. Addressing it requires political will, robust legal framework, and the civil mobilization by adopting transparent practices and leveraging technology. Nigeria can redirect resources towards inclusive growth and restore public confidence in governance. We can do it. If other nations did it, because when I look at the number of Nigerians who are doing well around the globe, I know that we can get there. It's just a matter of telling ourselves the truth and then nipping so many things on the bud. But I believe we'll get there. Let me know in the comment section what you think about budget padding in Nigeria and what other ways you think we can handle this issue of budget padding. Because it's not just about the Senate House or the House of Representatives, it's National Assembly, it's everywhere, everywhere, from the local government to the Senate House to the state government, everybody is pardoned. You know, something that they can do with 2 million, they will pad it to 2 trillion and still they will not deliver. My pain is even if you are pardoned, at least deliver the project, but they will not. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.